How's it going? I'm insanely busy. You know, the usual. Yeah, me too. Haven't taken a real vacation in over a year. Well, gotta count our blessings for being busy, right? In our culture, busyness has become a badge of honor. I'm busy, therefore I'm important. Therefore I'm worthy. But here's what research reveals. A 2018 Pew Research survey found that 6 in 10 adults in the United States feel too busy to enjoy life sometimes, and over 1 in 10 feel that way all of the time. And for many people, the need to be constantly busy isn't about productivity at all. It's about avoidance. So if you can't sit still, if you fill every moment with tasks, if you feel guilty about doing nothing, this video is for you. Let's dive in. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Research shows that busyness is often a form of emotional avoidance. Clinical psychologist Dr. Cheyenne Bryant explains, avoided behavior suppresses your unwanted feelings, resulting in a buildup of emotions that can manifest into anger, frustration, resentment, isolation, and many other unhealthy mental states. Think about it. When you're constantly busy, you don't have time to process difficult emotions, face uncomfortable truths about your life, sit with anxiety or sadness, confront relationship problems, question whether you're actually happy. Psychologist Brené Brown describes our culture as a culture of people who've bought into the idea that if we stay busy enough, the truth of our lives won't catch up with us. When you finally slow down, when you have downtime you can't fill, you're forced to notice what comes up. Maybe it's a struggling relationship. Maybe it's unprocessed grief. Maybe it's the realization that you're living someone else's version of success. Busyness lets you avoid all of that, at least temporarily. So why do some people develop this pattern? The answer often lies in childhood. Many adults who chase constant busyness had childhoods where they chased love and acceptance through achievement. These children were taught that they're more lovable when they achieve. Earn an A. You should have gotten an A+. Make the team. You should have made varsity. Get into college. But why wasn't it an Ivy League? A core belief forms. In order to feel love and acceptance, I need to produce. My self-worth is dependent on what I can accomplish. This belief is a lie. But it shapes your entire relationship with productivity and rest. Children who grow up in these environments become adults who can't accept unconditional love, feel guilty when they're not producing. Equate busyness with worthiness. Fear that without constant achievement they'll be abandoned. And here's the cruel part. Even when these adults achieve incredible things, it never feels like enough. The goalposts keep moving. The busyness becomes endless because the wound it's trying to heal is internal, not external. Let's talk about the culture that made this worse. Hustle culture. Hustle culture glorifies constant productivity, often at the expense of well-being. Social media amplified it to extremes. Hashtag side hustles has over 1.8 billion views on TikTok. We see 5 to 9 before the 9 to 5 videos with unrealistic morning routines. The message, if you're not constantly hustling, you're falling behind. But here's what research actually shows. Working more than 50 hours per week decreases productivity. The Journal of Occupational Health found that burnout risk doubles when employees move from 40 to 60-hour work weeks. Over 80% of employees are already at risk of burnout. And it gets darker. The World Health Organization reported 745,000 deaths in a single year from stroke and heart disease as a result of overworking. So this culture that tells us we need to be busy all the time, it's not just exhausting, it's literally killing people. Let's talk about what constant busyness actually costs you. Physical toll, weakened immune system, increased risk of heart disease and stroke, chronic stress hormones staying elevated, disrupted sleep and digestive problems. Ironically, staying constantly busy makes you less productive. You get sick more often, think less clearly, and burn out faster. Mental health crisis. Research from 2018 showed mental health disorders in more than 19 million people in the productive age group. Hustle culture is the one most affecting them. Common burnout signs: disengaging emotionally, being more irritable than usual, loss of motivation, feeling cynical or resentful, decreased performance despite working more. But here's the insidious part. Many people don't realize they're burnt out. They just keep going on autopilot because stopping feels impossible. Relationship devastation. When you're perpetually busy, you're not fully present. You're checking your phone at dinner. You're thinking about work during conversations. You're physically there, but emotionally absent. Your loved ones learn that work is more important than them. Over time, they stop reaching out. And when you finally slow down enough to notice, you realize you've lost connections you can't easily rebuild. Nobody on their deathbed says, "I wish I'd spent more time working." For people addicted to busyness, slowing down triggers an existential crisis. Psychologist Lissa Rankin describes these terrifying questions. Who would I be if I wasn't busy accomplishing stuff? Who would I be if I was okay with doing nothing? What truths would I have to face that I effectively avoid when I'm crazy busy? This is the core fear, that without busyness, you'll discover there's nothing underneath, that you won't know who you are. Many people describe touching moments of peace, understanding what real contentment feels like, and then losing it and feeling compelled to fill their schedule again. Busyness becomes a way to avoid facing the question, am I actually living the life I want, or am I just staying busy enough to avoid noticing that I'm not? So how do you actually break free? Here are the most powerful strategies. 1. Recognize its avoidance. Ask yourself Brené Brown's question: are my choices comforting my spirit, or are they temporary reprieves from difficult emotions that are ultimately diminishing my spirit? 2. Schedule downtime. If everything else is scheduled, schedule rest. Protect that time like a crucial meeting. Start with 5 daily minutes of stillness. 3. Challenge the core belief. That belief that your worth depends on what you produce? It's not true. Your worth is inherent. You matter because you exist, not because of what you accomplish. This cognitive work often requires therapy, but it's crucial for breaking the cycle. 4. Set boundaries. Establish clear work hours. Don't respond to emails after a certain time. Take vacation days. Say no to commitments that overextend you. 5. Address what you're avoiding. Eventually, you have to face what you're running from: the struggling relationship, the unprocessed trauma, the career that doesn't fulfill you. This is where therapy becomes invaluable. 6. Redefine success. What does success actually mean to you? Not what society says. What do you actually want? Real success often looks like having time for relationships, feeling present and peaceful, enjoying life, rather than just achieving, being healthy, living aligned with your values. 7. Practice self-compassion. You developed busyness as a coping mechanism for good reasons. It helped you survive, but now it's not serving you anymore. And that's okay. The alternative to hustle culture isn't laziness, it's what psychologists call being drawn rather than driven. When you're driven, you're running from something: fear, shame, inadequacy. You're a slave to pressures. When you're drawn, you're moving towards something: purpose, joy, values. You're coming from a centered, calm place. Psychologist Jacinta Jimenez explains, there's this belief that constant hustle and stress are fundamentally intertwined with success. It gets us trapped in this shared delusion that relentless productivity only comes with rewards, not at a costly price. The alternative is mindful productivity, focusing on what truly matters rather than just staying busy. You don't have to live up to hustle culture's demands. You can take a breath, step back, and chill. And when you do, you become stronger and more self-assured, not weaker. So here's what we've learned. People who need to be busy all the time are often using busyness as emotional avoidance, running from difficult feelings, carrying childhood wounds about worthiness, suffering serious physical and mental health consequences, sacrificing relationships for productivity. facing an identity crisis about who they are without busyness. 6 in 10 Americans feel too busy to enjoy life. Over 80% of employees are at risk of burnout. The hustle culture that promises success is delivering exhaustion, illness, and emptiness. But you don't have to live this way. You can slow down. You can face what you've been avoiding. You can challenge the belief that your worth depends on what you produce. It won't be easy. It requires facing everything you've been running from, but it's possible. And on the other side is actual peace. Not the peace of being too busy to feel anything, but real peace from living authentically. Ultimately, if we focus less on the hustle and more on humanity, we might just be a little healthier and happier. So I'm curious, do you recognize yourself in this? Are you someone who needs to be busy all the time? And what do you think you might be avoiding? Let me know in the comments. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more psychology content that challenges how we think about success and well-being. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.